Hello there. I wanted to do kind of an unbagging, unboxing, and look at something that I've gotten to improve my macro photography. I do photography, close-up photography. I don't have a macro lens, and so I use a long lens, a long telephoto, a 75-300, to get as close as I can to the subject, and then crop in editing to get close-up shots, because that's what I have up till now. And what this is, these are the Andoer. This is rather the Andoer. That's Andoer or whatever. I'm going to call it Andoer 3-piece macro extension tube set. And what this is this allows you to take macro photography without having to buy a very expensive $700, $1,000 macro lens. I could probably get one used for like $4, something like that. That ain't happening ever. I just don't have that budget, and probably never will. And so, not worrying about it now. They come. I looked at these, and I looked at several different kinds, and they all look like they're pretty much made by the same company and just sourced everywhere else. Now, or sourced by everybody, as far as the cheap Chinese-made ones go, which is what they said. Now, I took the advice of Tony Northrup, an old video of his, and he said, get the cheapest ones they got that will allow you to autofocus. And you see that has the autofocus pins to allow this to communicate with my camera. But these are, if I can get them to work, it's going to be like wow. Okay, so you do not want to come. Okay, that one open. There. It's just the spring is really strong. What you have to do is push it back. But it comes in a 13mm, so I shouldn't have that problem anymore. A 21mm and a 31mm. And what these do is the distance specified, in this case 31mm. This goes between the camera and the lens, and it extends the lens, the back side of the lens, away from the sensor by the amount, 31mm in this case. That's on the tube. They're just hollow tubes. The only thing, you can get them without the focus controls and all of that, but they're not really worth fooling with it. You can't adjust your aperture and stuff like that. But what it does is it makes the camera focus close. Now, I can't put this on, focus close, and then look at something even a few feet away and focus on it. You lose your ability to focus further away, but you don't do that with macro photography, do you? So the way these work, and I'll use the big one. This is my Canon, and what I'm going to do is this is the 75-300 lens. So And and that allows me to focus. It will allow me to focus closer than the minimum focusing distance of this lens. You can stack these to get closer and closer. The problem with that is you usually end up getting so close that you're touching your subject and you still can't get it to focus. So I would probably just use, I'm going to try all of these and use the one that I think, it'll probably be this middle one, but I'll use the one that I think gives me the best of both worlds. And then I may do a little bit of shooting outside with these to add on to this video to help us see a little bit. And it's taking a bit, but okay, there we go. But I just got them. I've never used them before. This is a cheap alternative to buying a macro lens, and they work really well because all it is a hollow tube. There's no glass in it or anything. It's just moving your lens away from the center enough that you get a closer focusing distance, and so there's no degradation in quality of the picture. You do lose a little bit of light, and you have to compensate for that by raising your shutter or lowering your shutter speed, or raising your ISO, or opening up your aperture or whatnot. But it's a good trade-off. With, you know, I paid like $15 for this, $16, and that's a whole lot better than $700, and you get they supposedly give you really good quality. So we will see. But thanks for watching. Later.